the experience I had with Will Helixon's law office: responsiveness, transparency, dogged determination. I always tell people, first thing you should do, regardless of how ridiculous your accusation seems early on, is go consult an attorney. Will is probably the best going, so it's definitely worth it. I am a senior officer in the United States Army, and I have several decades of experience. I've found myself being accused at first of being, and I'll put this in air quotes, unprofessional. I was told at first that I would be the recipient of an informal investigation just to protect me and to have something on record. And then just as that investigation was completing, I discovered that an anonymous IG complaint had been filed against me. When I found out about the anonymous IG complaint, parts of it were read to me, and it was so ridiculous, I thought for sure it would be ignored. And instead, what I was told is, you are now going to receive a formal investigation. Personally, it created an incredible amount of stress. I found myself very isolated, even from people who I've known for a long time, who wouldn't speak to me or acknowledge what was going on. And at that point, I realized I was probably in trouble, and I desperately needed some help. Who were the lawyers and investigators who worked on my case? Will Helixon and Mary Ritzmann. At first, I worked just with Will during the investigation process, and then towards the end of it, it looked as if the investigation would be determined founded. With that, I developed a strategy with Will in terms of who would need to be witnesses that would need to be deposed to, and then it was determined that Mary would come in just because of her language expertise. And so it was Will and Mary from the firm. What aspects of the representation stood out to me? So mainly it was just responsiveness, and it was the fact that I could call and ask questions several times just out of nervous energy. I would contact and he would help calm me down. Will doesn't sleep, and so he's responsive no matter what time of the day or night, no matter what time zone he's in terms of doing an immediate call to you. You think people are going to stand behind you, and the first time you realize that you're alone, it's very difficult to deal with, and Will help me through that. Their process and approach was one, just understanding how this situation is going to work out, and basically giving you, when you're accused, how things will go, and then when you're going to hit essentially decision points, and when you're going to hit a left and a right, a turn, in terms of if things will work for you or against you. And what I will say is, up until it came time to write the rebuttal, things were not working out for me at all. So every time I would hit one of these marks where it looked like things were going to go bad, Will would assure me that I was still in the fight, and he was absolutely right. When it came time for a legal review, the legal review just looked at the volume, the detail, and the quality of the defense that was put in for me and threw the case out. What did it mean for me to be able to continue my career without adverse action? So I was looking at several decades of service that could have ended in disaster and disgrace. I got my life back. Means everything, and that's why I'm talking right now. Will's work is going to come out on top. Can assure you of that. And the other thing is, Will is going to help keep you calm, and at some time tell you to shut up, do something other than stop bothering him. And the reason he's going to tell you that is he's got it. And I will say from experience, without a doubt, when Will tells you he's got it, he's got it.